Hi there, everybody, and thanks for being with us here on KXAN Live. Will Dupree in the KXAN Live studio, coming to you on what feels like a pretty comfortable morning so far, but don't let that fool you because some big changes are in the store for the forecast today. You might even look at this view from downtown Austin and say, hey, this looks like an amazing day. But those clouds that are building in the distance there, you see to our west, that is that Arctic cold front that is getting ever closer to our area and will plunge temperatures and bring some very strong winds. We have meteorologist Sean Kelly joining us here in our studio this morning to give us a bit of an update about what we can expect and when this is going to get here. Sean, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is a big deal, but you know what? I mean, we gotta just soak it in and embrace it, be positive about it. Yeah, we're gonna be dealing with freezing cold temperatures, but it's not gonna last, 6 days like what we had back in February 2021. We're not gonna be dealing with the ice and the snow. So again, just a 40 to 48 hour freeze for many. But yeah, that will be dangerous if you're caught outside off guard and you're not dressed properly. So that's why we, and as well as the National Weather Service, just want to get the message out. Hard freeze warnings. That begins later on this evening. By 3, 4 o'clock, I think we're dealing with freezing cold temperatures everywhere. So if you're waking up with us right now, maybe you're heading outside, getting ready to take on the day, and you're like, oh, it's not so bad, just wait. Temperatures will fall quickly, and look at this too. We've got wind advisories in place. 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts, and you know that one Santa that's inflated in your neighbor's yard. It's going to be down the street.
Oh,
Just
wow.
truthfully, it will be down the street into the next neighborhood if you don't deflate that and put some kind of weight on top of it to stop it from blowing around. So that's going to be some of the things you got to think about today as well. Also in preparation for the freezing cold is prepare for the winds, secure any of your yard furniture, anything that's lightweight, those holiday decorations. If you didn't do a good job of putting them up or tying them down, that is what is going to end up down the street. Also, this is unique. Wind chill warning, we don't see this really ever. We've only had it one other time other than today. This again was back in February 2021. So this is rare. They only issue this when there's extreme wind chill conditions, when we have temperatures that are below 10 degrees. We're going to see temperatures falling between -7 and 0 degrees. That's the feels like temperature. Also the wind chill for your body, for your exposed skin. So what should we be doing now? Just checking in on your friends, your family, your neighbors, especially the elderly and especially the young. You just want to make sure everyone is dressed properly to face this, because we still got to live our lives, right? I mean, we're still going to be, running errands and doing things tomorrow. Just tomorrow is going to be dangerously cold if you're not dressed properly. Also, your hoses and any pipes that are outside, go ahead and make sure that they're covered up. You still have a few hours before the front rolls in and before the freezing cold temperatures. So cover them up. You want to, if you can, for your exterior faucets, you can turn off the water. And then you want to open up the faucet, let anything that's in there drain out so that doesn't freeze over. And then you want to go ahead and cover it. And of course, you don't want your pets outside during this. So be mindful of them. Make sure they're not outside for too long, especially tomorrow and for the next few days. And of course, your potted plants, they will die with this freeze. This is going to be a deep freeze, again, that will last 48 hours. And when the temperatures are down into the teens, that will be enough to kill the plant. So make sure if you can't bring them inside that they're at least covered. Temperatures right now, so look at this. Richland Springs is down to 26 degrees. You know what that means? That means the Arctic front is right over San Saba County. So it is officially now pushing into the hill country. Metro temperatures right now, look at this. We just shot up to 57 here in Austin. So yeah, we're going to see a nice warm up. The sun is out. You know what? If we're at 57 right now, it's going to be maybe another hour to 2 hours. We might get to 60 here in Austin. That looks like a possibility. So it'll be nice and comfortable before the big drop in the temperatures. And then, yeah, when it drops, it's really going to drop. Through the next few mornings, you're going to need that heater running in your house and in your car for sure. Again, showing those temperatures dropping through the later part of the evening will already be into the 50s. Another really interesting thing here is just how dry this air is as well. -9, these are a measure of just how much moisture is in the air, or lack thereof moisture. And it is so dry up into the north. In fact, we may see dew points tomorrow, -10, maybe -15. If we get to that, that would be record breaking. That would be historic. That would be the driest air that we've ever experienced here at home So make sure you have the lotion, you've got the chapstick. You're going to need it tomorrow and for the next 48 hours. But look at all that cold up towards the north. Montana, Idaho, Wyoming. I mean, we've seen temperature drops of 30 degrees in, was it 9 minutes? Could you imagine that? I
That
mean,
is insane.
it's insane. This is truly insane. And again, this isn't too normal. We don't really typically see these kind of outbreaks. In fact, on average, I know we've seen these outbreaks. This will be our third time now in 3 years. But on average, as a whole, this is kind of a 1 in a 10-year type of event. So again, a lot of people, may not experience temperatures like this for quite a while. So again, showing those dew points, showing the dropping humidity. It is going to be dry and it is going to be very cold. I know a lot of people are going to be traveling. I think that's kind of the biggest headline as well.
Yeah, I mean, myself included,
Yeah.
I'm being mindful of this as well, maybe delaying a little bit of my drive that I have ahead of me because of this very storm and this weather coming in.
Right, and you know what? Oddly enough, it's not really a big storm in the sense of a big snow event up
Right.
towards the north. I mean, yeah, there's going to be some spots, in and around Chicago and the Great Lakes that see over 6 inches of snow, but it's the winds. It is the winds that is going to cause some major travel delays and issues. When you have 50 to 60 mile per hour winds, and that's tropical storm strength winds, and the powdery snow that reduces the visibility where you can't see a few feet in front of you, that's when traveling is impossible. That's when you can't be out there on the roads, or these planes can't fly or land. So we're going to start to see major impacts with that. If you're heading out to the airport, just make sure you check for any delays or cancellations. Even if you're going to a city that's not even involved, there might be a delay or cancellation because it'll just have a trickle, effect impact where maybe that plane going to that destination is delayed because of the weather here. But again, yeah, even into the mid-Atlantic, dealing with the heavy snow, and you see those blizzard warnings in orange there. There's a look at the travel delays as the storm pushes out towards the east. We're going to be dealing with some potentially minor delays even into the Dallas area. So if you're flying, out of Dallas, you could see some delays. And if you're flying into the Midwest, you're going to absolutely see delays, and especially into the Northeast tomorrow. Tomorrow's the big day that I think we'll see with major travel delays. You see on the cameras there's some sunshine, and then there's some clouds. Yeah, so it's sunny right now. And we'll see a little bit of clouds at the onset of that front, but behind this, we're actually going to see a sunny stretch of weather here. This is not going to be something that's going to provide much in the way of clouds, so it's going to be pretty looking outside. But yeah, it's just going to be cold. Look at that, -1 in Amarillo. Can you imagine?
Oh my
so
God.
yeah, temperatures will already drop into the hill country. It's not here yet, but it will be arriving into the Austin area right around lunchtime. So you have about 2 hours or so before it pushes into Austin a little bit later, down towards the south into the east. But look at 7, 8 o'clock, we're already down into the 20s. So it's freezing cold area-wide as early as 4 o'clock this afternoon. So get ready for that. Get ready for temperatures down into the teens tomorrow morning. Tomorrow will be the coldest day that we have seen this entire year. So just truly remarkable. Again, we have those wind advisories, going to see those 30 to 40 mile per hour winds. That's the big story. The wind chill warnings, which is so rare to our area, only a second time to happen, as those wind chills will fall below zero in many areas. That 7-day forecast here is showing that sunny stretch of weather, but as we head towards Christmas, it's looking a lot nicer, warmer temperatures into the 40s. And then we're back into the 50s and 60s by next week.
I know that's what a lot of the state leaders were pointing out is that, this cold weather that we're going to see that starts today and lasts for maybe a couple of days there, it's not as long lasting as what we saw back in February 2021, which caused all the issues.
Right, absolutely. It's not one as strong and not as cold, and it's not as long lasting as what we saw in February 2021. And we don't have the snow and the ice, we don't have the snow blocking, the solar panels or messing up with the windmills or anything like that. The wintry mix, that's not going to be an issue. And yeah, this is just 48 hours, so don't go out and panic buy. I do have to say, Will, if you live in a neighborhood that typically sees some brief power outages when you get those 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts, you're probably going to be dealing with that again today because that's what we're going to see. And that'll be the main driver today for some of those isolated power outages will be the strong winds that we're going to face.
Because the temperatures are going to be so cold, the city of Austin is opening up a number of resources, as well as other communities in our area, so we should just point that out. But the city of Austin will open not only warming centers, but several cold weather shelters. And again, the difference between those two is the warming center is somewhere where you can go during the day to have a nice warm place to be when the temperatures are this cold. The cold weather shelters, meanwhile, is somewhere where you can stay overnight in case you don't have a safe place to be and sleep. So just wanted to run through those locations really quickly because if you know somebody who needs one of these resources, they are going to be available starting today. Those warming centers are located here. There's 4 of them all across the city. There's Little Walnut Creek Branch Library, that's at 835 West Runberg Lane. There's the Terrazas Branch Library at 1105 East Cesar Chavez. Continuing on, Turner Roberts Recreation Center there at 7201 Colony Loop Drive. And then finally, the George Morales Dove Springs Recreation Center at 5801 Inez Drive. For the cold weather shelters, the city has told us they will open 3 of these overnight, and they are not sharing the location specifically, but if they say you do need that help, you have to go to this location right here, just on the south side of the river from downtown at 1 Texas Center, 505 Barton Springs Road. You can go there if you need the assistance and register, and then the city will provide transportation and take you to one of those 3 shelters that are going to open up. So wanted to run through those really helpful resources for people out there if they should need it. Again, all this information is available at kxan.com. And Sean, really those are very much needed because of just how cold it's going to be here in the next couple of hours.
Yeah, absolutely. And we also have some great information up on our website, kxan.com, talking about things not to do during this Arctic freeze, including
Important.
just being, just a reminder about carbon monoxide poisoning is usually, the number one thing that has been happening in a lot of these winter events when you may lose power is you don't want to bring generators into your home. Absolutely not. And also be mindful if you do run your car in your garage, that's when you want to go ahead and open up your garage because we don't want that carbon monoxide to get into your home and you to breathe that in.
Before we wrap up this live stream, Sean, and I want to show you really quickly, this is an image from Knox County, Nebraska, and that is in the northeastern corner of that state if you're familiar with Nebraska geography. But just take a look there. Some blue skies after that cold front moved through, but lots and lots of snow. Fortunately, we are not going to see that part of this.
Yeah, I wish, this cold weather is almost a waste, right? When we don't have like snow for, a white Christmas. But yeah, you got to head up to the north to get that. But yeah, we're going to see blue skies. And it's going to look pretty tomorrow, but dangerously cold temperatures, especially tomorrow morning. So just be neighborly, check in on everyone, make sure everyone is staying warm and staying safe, and please be mindful with your pets too. When they're outside tomorrow doing their business, make sure they're not staying out there. Bring them back in.
Sean, before we go, and I would just want to have you go back over. We're showing this, creeping Arctic air forming, just moving across the state, getting ever closer to Austin.
Yeah, I mean, this is just truly remarkable. Amarillo, 0 degrees. We had a 20-degree temperature drop there early on overnight when that front came through up towards Montana, 30 degrees in 6 minutes behind the cold front. We're going to see about a 20 to 25 degree temperature drop when we see the cold front again push through our area. Already seeing it inching into the hill country, not arriving here into Austin until after or right around lunchtime or so. But as soon as it moves in, temperatures go from the 50s down into the 30s and 20s by 4 or 5 o'clock. We're dealing with widespread freeze. 8 o'clock tonight, we're down into the 20s. So a completely different picture later on this evening into the overnight tomorrow morning into the teens.
Big changes almost here. All right, meteorologist Sean Kelly, thank you for the update, and I know you all will be updating us throughout the day with the latest details about this.
Absolutely. Stay warm, everyone.
All right, everybody. That is the best advice at this point. So if you have any more questions about what resources you should access, including what those warming centers are here in Austin and where, if you need a place to stay overnight, where that cold weather shelter is, that's all available at kxan.com. You can also access it on the KXAN News mobile app, so please check all of that out. We're trying to put it all out there for you so that it's easily accessible, and if you need to go somewhere, we're the resource. Thank you all again for watching here this morning. We will be back throughout the day with other updates. Please, as Sean said, stay warm out there. Take care. We'll see you soon.